Alright, so this is a video of my friend, my buddy Sound Waffles. He's playing Soldier on this map. We'll play Soldier for just the entire time of King's Row on attack and defense, and we'll talk a lot about just the positioning decisions that he makes. His aiming for the most part is fine, so I'm not going to really talk about that too much. I mean, you could always be better at aiming, but I think
they already
more
know our
importantly
comp.
what we want
They
to
know
talk
we have a
about
soldier for sure.
is just where he is, especially when team fights start to happen. So in the beginning,
Which team runs without a soldier these
that's
days?
fine. And so in the beginning, we want to talk about where should we be as Soldier. So obviously, you want to take the high ground, which is interesting because Sound Waffles is a good player, but he chooses not to take the high ground this time around. He actually does take the high ground the next time around, but I'm a little confused as to why he isn't up like there in the beginning. So he fires off a friendly warning shot, and he comes to this ground area right here. But I would like him to be, up here, even like up. I can't really see, but like behind where he is right now, like behind, like on the high ground. It would be a much better shot because he'll still get the same line of sight.
Oh my bad. Okay.
And still have as much impact damage wise, but
Genji's low. Genji's low.
And he'll be able to hide a lot better.
Oh no.
Okay, so I noticed this weird habit that Sound Waffle has, where he is a little too aggressive when he's shooting, and he's not abusing his range that Soldier has as much as possible. So this entire first point, actually, if he was a McCree player, I would say he's playing perfectly fine or okay in terms of positioning. But even as McCree, you don't want to be doing what he's doing right here, especially as Soldier. You don't have to. So when he sees that Genji, to get the kill on the Genji, you don't have to be walking up this close. So you see, he keeps on walking up. He keeps on walking up.
The Genji's low. Genji's low.
Genji. You don't have to walk. You could be like here even, and shooting at the Genji and still killing him, getting your shots in. And this is a lot safer, especially if they have like a Widow or a Sniper or really like a Hog or any kind of damage coming in. This is a lot better for you to be in. Even like high ground over there, you probably could have gotten shots off on the Genji. So positioning wise, that's it. So you actually see this mistake again here, where there's a Sombra right here, and you don't have to be so close up or like moving forward.
Sombra's down. Sombra's down. Don't have worry about her.
Over there was fine actually because he was chasing Sombra.
Oh what?
Ooh. Yeah, but again, you were a little caught up close over here, which was fine because you were trying to, I understand, like get the line of sight here. But immediately when you see the Rhine, and especially the Roadhog right there, it was your Rhine's fault, to be honest, for letting down the shield, and then the Roadhog got a hook in. But you should have been more back, to be honest, or even on the high ground like I was saying before. And
Genji behind us. Genji on our supports. Genji on our supports. Genji on our supports.
If you were more in the back, see, this is where you died. But if you were more in the back, you would have been a lot safer and probably would have lived.
Oh, they have a Tor one trick. No wonder. Okay.
They have an attack Tor for some reason. Let's move forward. There's not much else to talk about. So here, same thing again, same story. I don't know why you're...
They have an Arista now.
Okay, so if they're pushing in here, this is fine for you to be in, like right here where you are right now, even like back there. But this is actually really good positioning as Soldier because you're in the back line, but you're still putting down constant DPS. Once the enemy team starts moving like this way, you could probably come down from like high ground or wherever you might have been.
The Arista is very low.
Probably should have been high ground.
I am also very low, apparently.
Okay.
Apparently I was not getting good. Oh wow.
You guys got a little split up at Genji. So what the Genji's doing throughout this whole game is actually really good. I think what a lot of people don't understand about flankers is the aim of flankers isn't primarily to get kills. Like, if a Tracer goes a whole game without getting a single kill, that's fine. Because the Tracer
can no! Wait, was the shield almost down?
Without getting kills. Just in terms of messing up the enemy's positioning. Spending time just wasting their, like, the enemy support's time, like fighting 1v1 or whatever. That was unfortunate. There are a couple times where the enemy's end does shut down Sound Waffle's ultimate. Just make sure you're... I mean, you can't do much about that, but... Okay, this is unfortunate. Sound broke here out of nowhere. Can't do too much. Maybe should have played a little safer because your team was right there, but couldn't help that so much. let's move forward a little bit to
Yeah,
the
Sombra's.
next big team fight, which happens around about a minute later. Sombre's right here. Okay, so this is where things start to go south. The Genji gets a kill on the Hog, and you hear him ulting. And then you see in your kill feed, boom, Ana dies. Boom, your Mercy dies. No supports already. The fight's basically already lost. And then you notice at this point. At this point, you and McCree should have died. But you try to be heroes for like 5 more seconds, maybe like 10 more seconds. You probably could have died like 10 seconds earlier. And that's just 10 more seconds more that
You could
the
play
enemy has
you could
pushing
play
down.
Widow here, actually.
So I'm
Or yeah,
thinking maybe if you guys died right away, you could have maybe contested. Nah, probably too late anyways. But maybe in like another game it would have made a difference. Even though this one it probably didn't. But if a fight's already over, just die, reset. Okay, so here, this whole next fight, I want to talk about your positioning. So right now you're in great position. You have like a lot of things to block you. You could peek in and out.
Hogs half.
You're doing fine. But your Ryan isn't getting that much value once the enemy's team starts pushing past this
On
point.
heal.
Why? Because you're using these things as cover. But what is Ryan shielding? He's not really shielding that much if you, the frontline DPS, is like back here using this. And especially once they start to like come around here, your team's dying right here. And you're spending a lot of time like ducking behind cover and things like that. And the enemy team is starting to get dangerously close to you, but I think you should have been more like in the back, like over there. There's still some like decent cover back there. Like you could have helped out your Ryan a little bit more maybe, and you could still be firing like constant damage, which you're not doing as much here. But you do get your ult, so this is a nice place to ult. Unfortunately, it gets shut down again.
They try.
Yeah, so your Mercy is talking right now and saying, why are you guys so spread out? I can't even get a good resin, and your Mercy is right. So I would have liked to see you been like more like here-ish. Maybe like here when they start to round the corner, getting your shots in. So your position was fine when they were coming through like this back corner here. But then once they start to round the corner, that's when you should back up and like stay here-ish. Especially because you know the Zen hasn't ulted like since point A. Okay, so again, it's a story about a lot of positioning. Could be better. So there's no wrong or right positioning per se. I mean, yeah, but it's just, I think it's more of a question of like, what's a better or worse position to be in as soldier, and I think
We need our hog to protect our.
you could have chosen places to be where it would have been a lot harder, at least, for the enemy to kill
I'm
you.
not sure if he's.
So
I'm
on
not
attack,
blaming
there
him or
isn't
anything.
so much I wanted to talk about. You do everything right for the most part. It's going in with your team. You guys get a nice pick, and then you go in right behind the line, which is good. This is like good positioning for you to be like in terms of distance from your line. You
Turret
don't want to
down?
be like pushed up too far, obviously. You get kind of aggressive, but you guys are putting good pressure on enemy teams. It's fine. I think you guys are getting picks.
Behind us,
The
behind
highest
us.
he was over there. He really shouldn't have been over there. That was more positioning on his
Very well.
part. Maybe you could have been helping him. I don't know, but he should have been on the point. Here you try to run against soldier, which is not the best thing to do all the time, because maybe you could be doing more on the point, but
Oh, their soldiers
here,
caught in.
here you basically like wiped most of them anyway, so it's fine.
And that nade.
Because in other situations where like if you didn't get any picks and you're trying to 1v1, say that you died, that would be pretty bad. But your team was getting picks and you guys were cleaning up, so that situation is fine.
Lord. Bad headshots.
Okay, so I wanna street phase everything is fine.
Don't drop play.
The other team just trickles, kind of like how you guys did, and street phase gets lost pretty quickly. Yeah, it's really easy to trickle during team fights. Thankfully, your team wipes up.
Nice.
How did you die here? I don't really think it was your fault. If I remember correctly. This,
What?
Got it, dude?
yeah, that was just unfortunate. nothing more to say about that. Once you're Ryan backed up to like, I don't know what he was doing there again, but you probably should have been a little more aware of that, but it's fine, it's not the beast.
Got him.
Ryan shouldn't have been there. But...
Ryan in top.
Okay, so here, this is what I want to talk about. Your team's getting a lot of picks here.
Top right.
Kills, I don't know, someone else before the Ana, and it kills the Ana, and then here you guys can kill the Hog. So they're already down 3
He's staggered.
before the cart gets to this checkpoint. And this is what I want to talk about. Your ultimate usage. I feel like you didn't get that many crazy good ults in this video.
Killer.
And you ult again here, but you really
They
didn't
trans,
need
that
to.
force trans.
I feel like you should have saved it for after you guys got this point. Especially because you guys don't have a lot of time.
Force it down.
Like, you might argue that you wanted to make sure you got that, but
Nice.
I don't know. You guys just got 3 kills. I don't think
I'll kill the turret.
that's just ultimate usage.
Turret's down.
Like, general rule of thumb, I mean, I'm sure you know this, you're masters, but don't use your
Was it Genji
ult
behind us still?
unless you feel like it'll
Oh, nice.
change the status at the end of the fight to you guys will lose the fight to you guys will win the fight. And I think that's a situation where you guys already won the fight. I think. Okay, here, I want to talk about position again. You guys have Ryan. Like, where is he? I don't know. I don't know if you know either. I feel like you're tunnel visioning a little bit because you're trying to frag out, which is like good. I mean, you should always be trying to frag out, but there's no need for you to be this close to the cart. You don't have to be like on top of it to be doing as much damage as you are. You could be like, you know, in the back, slightly around the corner. Like, it's your Diva and your Ryan's responsibility as tanks to create this space up here for you to like they're making space so you can be doing damage here. Like, you don't
Genji's
have
very
to be
low. Genji down.
on this right here. Like, you could probably have gotten those
Nice.
kills anyways if you were like back more. Here you're risking your life. This is scary. Like, one hog hook and like
Oh
boom,
no!
you're
I
dead.
missed the right hog.
And that's no winner because they have spawned one right here. Ult, not bad. Good ult.
Got us out.
Okay, not so much else. You guys just win
Oh.
the fight here. Let's go to start of next fight. So this is the positioning that I would have liked to have seen in the first,
And they're not showing themselves.
like when you
right
guys
now.
are in defense the first time. This is a good high ground. Obviously, I mean, if I were to be really nitpicky, don't peek until like the match starts, because if there's a Widow right there, he's gunning for you or whatever. But that's just being nitpicky. So here you have great high ground control.
They have a Genji
You
up top,
can
isn't it?
like go into this little corridor thing whenever you want. You can also fire from here, which is great. So this is great, but this is where you want to be a soldier. This is juicy. You weren't here last time, and even here you see that my man San Waffles, you dropped down. I think by mistake, but you dropped down. And
Hog's
you
low.
shouldn't have dropped down.
Genji on
And
us.
you died.
Oh no.
But you wouldn't have died if you were up there on high ground, and you probably would have been able to pressure the Genji a lot more. Maybe he wouldn't have gotten those kills. Maybe you guys would have not lost that point. So you can see how even that small act of like
I
dropping
don't think
down
we can take this now,
accidentally,
can we?
that could have made a big difference in the fight. So just in terms of point A, like when you're holding ground as soldier, always
I got their
high
Ana.
ground, and I mean that's just basically
Okay, the Genji's down. We can hold
make
this.
it
We can hold
hard
this.
for the enemy team to come in, pressure. you
Roadhog's
down.
on right.
Alright, this is something else I want to talk about. So you being too aggressive when you're pushing in, you guys could probably kill this Roadhog, and you do, but this really scares me because if you say that you trade with the Roadhog, that's bad for your team. You don't want to trade with the Roadhog. So right here, you don't have to be in this far. Like your Diva's coming in, you guys are gonna like corner him. If that was a good hog, he would hook you right now. You would die. He would die. It's a good trade for them because he would be back faster. So you don't have to be up this like all over this grill.
Hog's.
What I would do is I would be as aggressive as you were, but I would try to bait out that hook. Like maybe like peek this corner right here and bait out the hook. After he hooks, then you could be very aggressive with
Down.
your team.
They're all bleeding. They're just bleeding.
Thankfully, you don't die, but that was a little scary for me when I watched that. You going in
Okay, the Genji's down. We can hold this. We can hold this.
here. Yeah, I was a little scared right here.
Roadhog's on right.
Good call out to get the Roadhog, but this was a little scary.
Their Hog's down. They're all bleeding. They're just bleeding.
And this next part, we go back to the Genji, and what the Genji's doing right is, as a flanker, he wants to distract you as much as possible,
Okay, so let's back
especially
up a
as a
bit.
frontline DPS. So when he goes in like this, it's a little questionable. It's debatable. It's debatable whether you want to go for him or not. So he goes in,
Yeah,
and
he's behind
this is
us.
debatable whether he's going or not after him, but look at this. You have your Widow, your Diva, and you going after this one Genji. Who's at the front? Your Rhine, your Mercy, your Zenyatta. That's basically nothing at the front line. And this one Genji is all it takes for you guys to just tunnel vision and go after him. So I think you guys try to get the kill really quickly, but then obviously he's a Genji. He's not playing like a dumb Genji, I don't know. And obviously he doesn't die that easily. So I think you realize this, you try to help out your team in front. By that point, the car's already pushed up and you already gave up your positioning, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Don't let flankers make it really hard for them to make you give up your good positioning. You had good positioning behind your Reinhardt and you gave that up. And since that point, since you started to chase after the Genji, I think it was like it just started to go downhill from there. And even this ult, when you hear the Genji ult and he's like this close in front of you, I feel like this was kind of a panic ult, and it definitely happens. So like I'm not like being nitpicky about this, but the most important thing I think is when you see the Genji go back, I think you should have stayed with your Ryan and with your team.
Genji's low. Damn. All right.
Yeah.
So just gotta hold him in the last part here.
All right. So that's some good Genji play. Not because he gets
can't
the kills,
contest
but
it right
because
now.
he's able to distract you guys so much. But also on your part, just make sure that doesn't happen as you're through. Okay, I'm gonna skip forward to the next fight.
Oh no.
Genji comes in, you're pressuring him, that's good.
Genji's in.
Very
Genji
good.
down.
Kill him off.
Nice. Oh, I need someone to kill that turret.
So here is where I get a little scared because you don't have to be so forward. Like, there's a lot of times where you could have been back a few meters and you would have been fine. Like, having as much impact in the fight. Like, this is alright. You know, this is alright. You guys are starting to like
Watch the hook, watch the hook, watch the hook.
So you round the corner, that's fine.
No hook, they have no
Right
hook.
here,
They have no hook.
You're
Damn, the Roadhog got out.
okay.
I charged up a lot of my ult though.
That's fine, that's fine. I was gonna say you're a little overextended, but the Roadhog did use the hook, but you just really want to be careful. I feel like there are a few times in the video where you were pushed up.
I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna go behind him.
And you could've
then
been
I
back a
am
little bit
going
more.
to do something.
So here's where you utilize this place really well, actually, because this is a good time to take this high ground right here, because when the enemy team is coming down this way, it's a good time to be here. But once they start rounding the corner, the first time I noticed that you stayed here.
Oh, they're not in.
was
They're not even
his
in.
choice. But now, since they're doing this, it's fine to be back there. Okay. And
Oh, no,
last point
Ana's in
that
left
I
room.
wanted to make, it's just the same thing. You don't
They have to get on
the
point.
You don't have to be this close when they're all
wait.
coming in that hard.
This is nice.
So I think you die here, and you shouldn't have died. Yeah.
This is down.
So you could be doing, yeah, so you shouldn't have been here, is the main thing. Like, you could have been back there still, because they were still coming down this way. You could have been, probably not back here, only because they didn't round the corner yet, but you could have been back here. And then once they start to, like, round this corner, like, as soon as they do, and as soon as your Ryan starts to back up, you should just back up with him. But because you were here on top of the cart where you didn't need to be, I feel like it was just a lot easier for the Genji to kill you. The Genji goes off. Wow, the Genji went off.
Nice.
You guys get like a Jesus res. And then just clean up. And with spawn advantage, you win. Yeah, so just wrapping up this positioning things, high ground, make sure not to give that up. So I feel like you have all the basic and fundamentals, all the foundation stuff like right. You just really need to think about like all the small decisions.
I've been
you
steadily
make.
rising. I've been on
Like,
a win
why
streak.
am I going out this far? Like, can I still have as much impact if I'm like in a different, better position? And most times you probably can. So that's mostly it, but nice video, good stuff.